Assalamu alaikum students, welcome to lecture number 13 of advanced nanomagnetism. In this lecture we'll discuss about the basics of spin glass behavior in thin films and in nanoparticles. So what is spin glass? Spin glass is actually a disordered magnetic system which is also frustrated. It is similar to ordinary window glass, but the difference is that in an ordinary window glass we have a randomness among the position of the atoms. Here we have a randomness in the spins of the system, and the spins are also not independent. They have exchange interactions, and these exchange interactions are frustrated. So the spin glass behavior is disordered and frustrated magnetic system. So the individual atomic bonds in a spin glass are a mixture of ferromagnetic and interferomagnetic bonds. There is like a mixture of these, and spin glass and the complex internal structure that arise within the term metastable because they are stuck in some stable configuration. So it's a very metastable state. And conventional atomic glass, you can see if we have a crystalline silica, we have no glass structure, and they are very well positioned atoms. And when we have amorphous silica, then we have disorderedness in the atomic atoms. So spin glass, it is the time dependence which distinguish between spin glass and other magnetic systems if we compare with the ferromagnets. Above the spin glass transition temperature, the spin glass exhibit a typical paramagnetic behavior. So there is a transition between spin glass state and a paramagnetic state. So spin glass behavior in magnetically doped metallic system was first discovered by Amadosh and Canilla in 1970s by observing a cusp sharp peak in the AC susceptibility of Fe-doped. This is the gold alloy. So disorder and frustration are the basic ingredients for the occurrence of spin glass. So there are different models by which we can understand the spin glass behavior. First of all, why it is important for our nanosystem and nanoparticles and nanowires and thin films. Because the reason is the surface to volume ratio and the surface disorderedness in these systems. As we already know from the previous lectures, if we consider the nanoparticles or nanowires or other nanostructures less one dimension less than 100 nanometer, we always have surface defects and a surface spin disorder. And this surface spin disorder is a best candidate to investigate this kind of systems like spin glass, because the spins are randomly oriented and also the frustration is present. The alignment is not same as in the core. So, and also if we have a nanoparticle diluted system, the interaction between the nanoparticles can produce a spin glass state. So Edwards, Anderson, and Shrinkton Kirkpatrick models are very famous to understand the spin glass behavior. Here is the equation after these models, in which the first term tells us about the exchange energy represented by exchange integral Ji is average integral, and the other term is the interaction of applied magnetic field with the spins. So where Jij, mean value of Jij, is a confidential average of exchange coupling constant of randomly varying spin sign between a pair ij of the spins. So J is not fixed in these kind of systems and fluctuating within the system, and if we average all of the J's within the system, we end up with nearly a zero value. However, in the ferromagnetic system we have a fixed value of J. So only nearest neighbor interactions are taken into account by EA model, which was extended by infinite interactions by the SK model. The second term was the Zeeman effect, which tells about the effect of the external magnetic field. Edward Anderson could describe correctly the observed cusp of AC susceptibility in Madosh experiment, which gives the spin glass transition temperature. Below the cusp we are in the spin glass state, and above that cusp we are in the paramagnetic state. This cusp is similar to blocking temperature. However, it's sharp in this diluted system, and in our nanoparticles this is not as much as sharp. So this can be further demonstrated by a triangular lattice. If you can see these 6 panels, if you consider the panel A, you can see if this system is anti-ferromagnetic system, this is in the ground state, the red one and the blue one. If we consider with the other blue and red, they are also in the anti-ferromagnetic system, while the both red are ferromagnetic. So at the same time we have no one ground state, so there is a frustration in the system, and this frustration you can see in all these 6 panels. This is very famous triangular lattice to understand this kind of frustration. So the cusp of AC susceptibility. So this is the graph taken from this PRB paper from this Madosh and Kenila. In 1972, you can see they have doped iron 1%, 2%, 5%, and 8%, and you can see this the spike, the cusp in the zero field cooled curve. This is the same zero field cooled curve. On the y-axis this is the DC susceptibility, and on the x-axis this is the temperature. So this tells us that when increasing the dopant iron, the spin glass behavior is increasing. So therefore these experiments attracted people attention to study this kind of material both experimentally and theoretically for tens of years. This type of new material was called spin glass. So in spin glass system there is the distribution and randomness of exchange in constant. As I told you, due to randomness, there is no fixed J value in the system as in ferromagnetic system. So there are different J values, and the two-well model is not applicable here. So we have a landscapes of energy barriers, a lot of energy barriers you can see in the figure below, in which our system is in metastable state, is fixed, and it's changing only with time. So with the time experiments versus the magnetization, just like relaxation experiment we already learned in previous lectures, they are very crucial to understand the spin glass behavior. So distribution of exchange constant and competing interaction among spins cause disorder and frustration in these systems. In a spin glass system, this simple picture of two valley energy barrier is no more valid. So if we add up all these exchange values, we have equal to 0. So I hope students you have understand today's lecture, and it is just the basics of spin glass behavior. What is this? And in the next lecture we will proceed further with the more advanced version. Okay, thank you.